What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 23 of the Cinematic Boys podcast. Of course, it's Dakota here with my lovely co host Bilal. But today we got a special guest in the building. We got Branden. Branden, introduce yourself and tell them where they can find you.
Well, what's going on, guys? Thanks for having me. As you said, my name's Branden. You can follow me at MarottaMedia on TikTok as well as YouTube. And if you're interested in other platforms, what's my username on here? BR Marotta, BRMarotta on Letterboxd. As same on Twitter. I'm not calling it X. No one calls it X, but
Thank
with an
you.
underscore at the end.
So, of course, guys, this is going to be a little bit different episode than our normal episodes. So, for today's episode, we're just going to go through our top 10 movies of so far this year. We just got halfway through the year. We're in July right now. I thought it would be the perfect time to tell our top 10 because, one, I think, I know Brandon could agree with me. We didn't got a lot of good movies this first 6 months. But it seems like in these next 6 months, we're going to get a lot of good movies. So hopefully that can change.
Thumbs up thing don't work no more.
Yeah, it's been decent. I would say it hasn't been like outstanding, but there's been a lot of good stuff.
So let's just get right into it. Let's start. So how we're going to do this is we're just going to say each other's 10, 9, then we just going to start on that. So we're going to start with you, Brandon. What was your number 10 so far this year?
All right. Well, my number 10. Do you guys have like honorable mentions?
Oh yeah, let's do some honorable mentions. If you want to do, let's do 5 honorable mentions at first.
I only have four, so
Okay.
but I'm assuming we won't go too into depth with these. But movies this year that I really like that are not in my top 10. Starting from the bottom, I have the documentary on Netflix, "The Greatest Night in Pop." I don't know if you guys have watched that. Really good documentary. And after that, I have Dev Patel's Monkey Man.
Mhm.
Solid action movie, really good directorial debut. And then after that, I'm sorry, Bilal, I know this is a favorite of yours. I have Furiosa.
Oh,
Not in
and
my
then,
top 10.
it's
Re-
it's okay.
really good. I liked it. Doesn't touch how great Fury Road was. And then my last honorable mention is my most recent addition, and that is Maxine, the third installment in Ty West's X trilogy. I saw it the other night. I really enjoyed it. It gets a wide release tomorrow, so go see it this weekend if you guys get a chance.
Sounds like a plan.
Definitely. Well, below, what is your honorable mentions?
My honor mentions is King of Planet of the Apes. I thought that was really solid, surprisingly good. Wasn't expecting what Westball is going to do, but since I wasn't the biggest fan of his other movies, been Maze Runner movies, I had like extremely low expectations for it, but I was really surprised how much I enjoyed it. And then I got Challengers that I know most people like way more than me, but it's still a four-star movie. And then I got Love Lies Bleeding. This movie would have been like a 5-star movie, but the ending really threw me off and just didn't, connect with me. And then I got Bike Riders.
Okay, so for my 5 honorable mentions, which is a little bit different from y'all's because as below know, I don't know if you know Brandon, I'm really generous with my ratings.
Oh, I know.
Oh, we know,
I've,
bro.
I've seen it on Letter. There's some movies I'm like, that is an egregiously high rating.
So my first honorable mention is If. I don't know if you guys. I think Brandon, you don't like If, do
I
you?
did not like that movie at all.
I skipped it.
It's not good. That's my opinion, at least.
I thought that for me, it kind of really connected, like for like not only children, but this movie I think connected for adults also because it seems like a lot of animated movies anymore is just for like kids. A lot of people say, but this one I felt like was for both. There was more heart touching moments in this than I think they marketed,
Mhm.
and I really enjoyed that. My second honorable mention is King of the Planet of the Apes. I think this is a really good first installment in West Ball's trilogy, and it kind of gives what I think Matt Reeves did with the two Planet of the Apes films he did, and then Rise. It kind of put both in it, and I think it having like Caesar's legacy in it and what they do with it was just a great job. So my third honorable mention is Ordinary Angels. This stars Hilary Swain and Alan Richardson. Have you seen it, Brendan?
No, I forgot about that movie. Honestly, I didn't really have any interest, but I forgot that even came out this year.
It's really good. I have never cried during the movie. That ending, yes, it made me cry.
Hmm.
But
It's okay
was it?
crying movies, man.
No,
Let
I'm not saying it's not it's bad to cry in movies. He's like, I've never cried in a movie, but I cried in that one. I'm like, really? Like, I
right,
cried
yeah,
in a lot of
yeah,
movies.
that's
The
true.
only movie that really got to me is the Iron Claw. But besides that, it's like I don't. Is there? There's like I know it's like sad moments, but it's like not really touching. But there's a line they say at the end of this movie, at the end of Ordinary Angels, and it really got to me.
Mm.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
My fourth honorable mention, and this is one that I think Brandon won't like either. It's Roadhouse.
Oh God.
I have half a mind to just leave this podcast right now.
But I really,
Roadhouse.
I really like Roadhouse. So I take away for the Patrick Swayze one. The Patrick Swayze one is so good; it's a masterpiece. But I kind of glad that Doug Lehman didn't like do a copy for copy.
Mhm.
At least he like changed it up a little bit with Dalton
Conor
Elwood
McGregor.
Dalton being a UFC fighter, except like just a all out tough guy. And I kind of like how they did in Florida instead of like Michigan in the first one. So my last honorable mention is Alex Garland's Civil War.
Ooh.
You didn't like it, didn't you?
I did not like that movie.
Okay, to be honest with you, I think that's the most divisive film this year, besides some
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
I would agree with that for sure.
Yeah, because I've been looking at my Letterboxd. I love Civil War, by the way, but I've been looking at Letterboxd like stuff. It's either 2 stars or like 4 stars. There's like no in between of it. It's like either you hate it or you love it. It's like
Mhm.
one of those types of movies, you know.
So let's get right into it. Brandon, what is your number 10 for this year?
My number 10 is actually another movie that I would say is divisive, and it was Jane Schoenbrun's sophomore outing. I saw the TV Glow.
That's still on my watch list.
I need to still watch that.
This is a movie I'm really surprised how much I liked, because I was not a fan of that director's first movie, We're All Going to the World's Fair. Did you guys watch that?
Nah.
No.
I understood what it was going for, and I saw the appeal, but it just wasn't for me. So I was like, I don't know how much I'm gonna like this, but this movie, I really enjoyed it. It was so strange because there's so much subtext to it, and there's something different that I think everybody can get out of it. The main thing that it's going for is like an allegory on like for trans people, but I picked up on so much other stuff, like how nostalgia can be both a great and kind of a dangerous thing, and how we look to media that we consume to escape our own mundane lives. I was truly like shocked how enamored I was watching this movie. I was zoned in. I was in all throughout, and I thought it was really, really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Sounds like a plan. It's on my watch list. I definitely gonna come around to it. I'm just waiting until it gets on rent right now because it's like $20 to pay for it in
Mhm.
Canada. So I'm just waiting for like the rental to come in, so
Yeah.
it's like renting and it's like, or if it goes to streaming, hopefully.
It should.
I think it's going to be on Max later this year.
Crave in
Yeah,
Canada.
it should. It's A24, so it'll be on Max.
But Bilal, what's your number 10?
My number 10 is Inside Out 2. Definitely think the first Inside Out film is better, but I still think this is a really strong sequel, especially of Riley's growth, especially with anxiety being such a big part of it. I also love all the other emotions of envy. I just think this movie has a really great message behind the storytelling. And also, it just shows how much Riley has grown from the first movie to the second movie. extremely well. I think it's a really solid Pixar sequel.
Okay, for my number 10, I got Monkey Man. I think this is a great directorial debut by Dev Patel. I kind of like how it didn't go full John Wick. There was more meaning behind this movie, and he put like his own culture into it. And I'm kind of glad Jordan Peele picked this up, even though Netflix was like, "Oh yeah, we don't want this anymore," because I think this definitely deserved a theatrical release than what Netflix was going to do.
Yeah, I don't think that movie would have had the same impact if it was released directly to streaming.
True.
Yeah.
So, Brandon, what's your number 9?
Number 9, the newest addition to my top 10. I just saw this movie last weekend. Another very divisive movie, and that's Yorgos Lanthimos' Kinds of Kindness.
I wish I was playing my city, man.
It's not playing by you?
Actually, I might be playing one of my local theaters. I just didn't check, but Euros movies barely get wide releases for some reason, which is a bit annoying.
Yeah, but I was, like most people, I was a really big fan of Poor Things, and when I saw that Yorgos had a new movie coming out just less than a year later, I'm like, oh, hell yeah. And I was really interested because I was like, it takes place in the modern day, and a lot of his movies don't do that. They either take place like in the past or in some kind of alternate reality. But I really liked this movie. As I said, it's not going to be for everybody because it is very strange, and a lot of people might see it as pointless, but there is a very clear message between all three of the movies, because for those who don't know, it's an anthology film with 3 separate stories that are not connected narratively, but they're connected thematically, just about how the lengths people are willing to go to feel loved by someone else or to appease them, and just the ridiculous things that they will go to and the ridiculous things that they will do in order to get that feeling, just to feel human connection with another person. Also, one of the funniest movies of the year. There is a part in the second story that I laughed at for a solid 5 minutes.
Bad.
Okay, Blah, what's your number 9?
My number 9 is Brendan's not gonna like this. The Civil War. I think this movie does a great job of having really intense moments. I do like how much they put the reporters and journalism in in front of this film because it's something important and something that's going on right now in this world. And I think the performances are strong, and I think it's a really solid movie.
Okay, my number 9 is Abigail. This right now for me is the best horror movie of the year, just for me though. And there's still some I need to watch. Like I need to watch I Saw the TV Glow, and like some others. But I really enjoy Radio Silence and their direction of movies, and this remind me a lot of kind of Ready or Not. And Stan Stevens gives a great performance in this.
It does.
Melissa Barrera gives a great performance. I'm kind of glad that she is getting the props and recognition after what Spyglass done to her last year with Scream 7. But overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I definitely want to rewatch it again because I know it's coming out on physical release this Tuesday. So I'm definitely going to have to pick it up.
Melissa Barrera has gotten better, I think, with every performance she's given.
Yeah, I can agree with you that kind of like Scream. What were you saying?
Sorry, I was going to say in Scream 5, I love Scream 5. I love all the Scream movies, even 3, even though that's the weakest one. But her performance in that movie I thought was just okay. And then she was really good in Scream 6. And then I really liked her performance in Abigail as well. So I really think she's just gotten better with each movie that she's been in.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. I think my favorite performance of hers is still in The Heights. I think that's her best performance.
I love In the Heights, but that performance was just she could do a little bit more with her face. Like I don't know, she didn't express enough through her face, and I love In the Heights.
In the Heights, I feel
I'm higher on that movie than most people.
Yeah, so. I mean, I give In the Heights like a 4.5 out of 5. I know that's a high rating, but like I may give it a 5 star on rewatch. I love that movie that much. It could be a 5 star movie in the future, but
That's a movie I rewatch every summer. I gotta rewatch it because it's a good summer movie. I
oh
gotta rewatch it soon.
yeah, and the soundtracks are so fired too. Like
Banger, absolute banger.
and there's longer style in the dancing choreography. I just love the editing style of the film.
It's really good. I like that movie a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon, I agree with you because, like, I don't know, it might just be Scream 5 because it seems like, just think about Scream 5. I think they just wanted to get a movie out there
Mm-hmm.
because it was, what, I think 12 years after Scream 4?
Scream 4 came out, I think, in 2011.
Yeah, 2011. Yeah, yeah.
And
So 11
Scream
years.
5 was what, 2022? So yeah,
Yeah,
about
so 11 years. So I think it's kind of like a copy and paste of the first movie because I was kind of thinking that because I always had a thought that Richie was the killer in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and it kind of doesn't help probably that she don't have a great performance in that because, of course, I think Nev Campbell's in the movie. And I think what they were trying to do is give the limelight to Nev Campbell. But, like, I agree with you. She does spare in Scream 6, and I think that's because, like, she's the star of the movie. So there's more focus on her. And I think Radio Silence knew how to do that with the movie then, so they even got better with Abigail.
Yeah. I mean, Scream 1 and 6 are like the Scream movies that I rewatched the most because I think those are my favorite ones in the franchise.
I love them all. I can rewatch that franchise every year and never get bored.
Actually, my top 3 is probably, this is random, my top 3 is probably Scream 1, 6, and 4.
Okay. 4 is 2 for me.
4, I feel like 4 is not appreciated enough. Like that one deserves way more love.
4 is great. It's just shot horribly, but it's great.
Yeah, exactly.
But Brandon, what is your number 8 for the year?
Okay, my number 8. Okay, this is a movie that I saw a few months ago at the Phoenix Film Festival. It does not have a wide release yet.
Sing Sing.
Not Sing Sing.
Yeah,
later on, but no, I believe it's getting a wide release later this year. It's called Mother, Father, Sister, Brother, Frank, and I'm having a hard time talking about this movie because if I say too much, I'll spoil it, and I really think people will love this whenever it gets released. But it's like kind of like a horror comedy thriller. I thought it was hysterical. It was so much fun. If you're not familiar, it's about this family that's having like a family dinner on a Sunday night, and their uncle, the father's brother, just randomly shows up, and from there everything gets crazy. And very fun movie. I liked it a lot. So whenever it gets a wide release, please check it out.
100% will. I hope. Has the studio picked it up yet, or
I believe because in my screening, the director and the writer were both there. And I think they said be on the lookout this fall for a wide release. So to me, that said like they're probably in like the late stages of a negotiation with a studio, or they did and they just put out a wide release date. I'm not sure, but
hopefully it's probably
keep it on your radar.
Probably going to be released like probably October, November. I'm guessing so.
I could see that. That's what they said, so I hope it does because it's a great movie, and I really hope people get to see it.
Okay. I definitely have to keep that on my radar. Bilal, what is your number 8?
My number 8 is Abigail. I think this movie is pleasantly surprising. I mean, first of all, like Alicia Weir as Abigail was fantastic. I love how they had the components of the ballerina dance moves, and the performances are great. I think each character has an interesting personality to add layers to the humor of this film, and overall, this is a great movie that takes its time to develop the characters before getting into the action of this film, and I think that's something I really appreciated. I do think the marketing could have been a little bit better with that because the marketing really showed this to be more of a horror action film, but realistically, it takes its time to get there, if that makes sense. But I still love the film.
Okay, my number 8 is The Fall Guy. I really enjoy this movie. I think it's just Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling, I think, has developed into like he was more of a serious actor when he was younger, but now he's more like the fun type of actor that you always want to go see. But I don't know if it's just since he's played Ken that has developed not only probably his personality, but just all of us wanting to see his movies. But I like the chemistry between him and Emily Blunt. I kind of like how I think it's David Leitch that directed this.
Mhm.
How he shows appreciation to stuntmen in this movie because he was a stuntman himself before he became a director. And I didn't even know that this was based off an 80s TV show until after the movie was over.
Yeah,
But
because they show up at the end. The stars of the show make cameos at the end.
Yeah.
overall, I really enjoyed this movie, and I'm kind of mad it didn't get more notice and like box office in the theaters because I think this would have been a good movie to go see in the theater.
Yeah.
It's done
But
better
Brent,
though.
what do you say, Brent?
I think it's done better. Like since it got put on streaming when it was still in theaters, it's done a little bit better box office wise. But they did put it on streaming
I
really
don't know.
quickly.
I don't know about you guys, but in my theater, it's still playing and it's still full with like seniors watching it. Like
Really,
a whole
well,
bunch of
that's good.
old people that's watching it still. I
Oh
mean,
no, that's appreciative. That's my theater too for any movie. I'm like, I appreciate older people so much because they just go to the movie without looking on streaming.
Oh, I get some of the movies I watch because they're movies people my age wouldn't see. I'm usually the youngest person in there by a
yeah,
very wide margin.
yeah. Like I saw Bike Riders by my
Mhm.
buddy. You saw that on my Instagram probably, but it was just me, him, and a whole bunch of like older people, old seniors that were like the only guys that are like 24 in
It
there.
was it was me when I saw Maestro. I saw Maestro in theaters last year, and yeah, it was before it got a wide release. So I was like, yeah, I'll go see it in theaters. I'm curious. And everybody in there was at least 60 years old, except
Dang,
for
bro.
I
it was
think
full though.
I know this past Friday, I think I was the youngest for a Quiet Place Day 1 in my theater.
Really?
Yeah. But it was last year for Killers of the Flower Moon. I was the youngest person in that theater.
Dude, when I watched Killers of the Flower Moon, I was the only one in the theater. I was just vibing.
Wow.
I have my notes app and just writing notes on this film because I was the only person in there, you know?
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, I
But,
think everyone does that if you're alone and you're like, dude, reviewing stuff. It's a perfect
Yeah.
opportunity
If
to,
I'm by
like,
myself, I'm like, it's fine. It's just me.
yeah.
so, Brandon, what is your number 7?
Oh, okay. My number 7 is another movie I saw really early, but it just got a wide release last week, I think, and that is Thelma.
I really want to see Thelma.
Have you
I
guys seen
really want
Thelma
to say,
yet?
No, it's playing in my theater. I want to go see it so
Oh,
bad.
it is a very fun time. It's hilarious. I think for me, it's the funniest movie of the year that I've seen it because it made me laugh the most. Very sweet, very entertaining. Just picture Mission Impossible for old people with an old person doing the most simple tasks imaginable, like walking up the stairs while intense Mission Impossible like music is playing, and that's what Selma is, and it is incredible. Such a fun movie. I saw it in because it was the closing night film at the film festival, and I saw it in a huge theater with a sold out crowd, and it was so much fun. I'm happy that I got to see it that way.
I was so mad because you know how Sundance now does like the virtual screenings?
Hmm.
That was one of the virtual screenings,
It
and
was,
I
yeah.
did not get enough. I did not get my screener in time for it, so it sold out, and I was already intrigued by it. And it was my mom a couple days ago. She saw the trailer and she's like, "Have you seen this movie? This Thelma movie?" I'm like, I already was hooked on it before they even brought a trailer. I just like the premise. I watched the trailer. I'm in love with it even more. I can't wait to watch this. Hopefully, I can watch it either this weekend or probably see it next week.
It's a lot of fun. It's a movie that I think everybody would. Great movie to watch with your grandparents if your grandparents are still around because it can appeal to people of all ages.
But below, what is your number 7?
My number 7 is Bad Boys, Bad Boys. What you gonna do? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna sing that song. Anyways, Bad Boys Ride or Die. I was a huge fan of Bad Boys for Life because I've done bringing this more of a personal story for the character of Mike Lowry. But then Bad Boys Ride or Die does the exact same thing for Marcus and Mike Lowry. And I like the fact that this movie shows these characters are aging. They're going through their own struggles in this movie. But at the same time, they bring the humor and the fun action into this movie. So having a balance of having a personal story with the humor is something I really appreciated in the last two Bad Boys movies. And I think Bad Boys Ride or Die does that in such an excellent way. And Martin Lawrence and Will Smith still got the fantastic chemistry to get it on screen. I think this movie is a banger.
So for me,
shout out to Chuck because he says bangers all the time.
My number 7 is also Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
I really enjoy this movie. Okay, so the best Bad Boys film for me is Bad Boys 2. But I think coming off of like what Michael Bay did with the first two, I'm really glad that they picked these two directors because they know what Michael Bay did and they kind of like put it into like their own way and still made the Bad Boys movies fun. But this one is so much better, I think, than what was the last one? For Life. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed the comedy in this. It kind of shows like I kind of like these movies, especially this one, because it shows that they're getting older. Because a lot of movies, when actors get older and they do like these legacy sequels, after they're like, oh yeah, they're still young. But I kind of like how they're showing like these guys are getting older, and of course you see like Vanessa Hudgens, and who was the other guy that plays in it? That plays a boyfriend in the movie?
Andrew Lewick?
Yes, him. I kind of like how they show that they're the younger cops now, and it's like you especially see that in 3, but 4 is like they had to get their hope for him because of course they're in trouble with the law now. But I really enjoy this movie, and hopefully we get Bad Boys 5.
Yeah.
But Brandon, what is your number 6?
See, I feel bad because my list is consisting of so many movies that don't have a wide release yet. But my number 6 is a great coming-of-age film called Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person.
I have heard so many good things about that movie.
I literally just add that to my watch list.
It just got a trailer, I think.
Wait,
a month ago.
I think I could buy this digitally right now.
Can you? No.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, a trailer just got released for this like a month ago, I want to say, and I think if it hasn't happened already, I know it was getting like a limited release in LA and New York. So I assumed like shortly after that it would get a wide release. But yeah, this movie was excellent. Very nice spin on the vampire genre while also taking inspiration from other vampire movies like Let the Right One In. But it's also very funny. It has a sense of humor. It's very smart. It's dark. It balances all of it beautifully. It's a great movie. And it's another one that I really want people to see whenever people are able to see it.
So, Bilal, is it available on digital for you guys?
Well, it says on Letterboxd it's available on digital.
Yeah, because it says it was released in Canada on December 20th, 2023 for Canada.
Oh, wait. It's on Prime.
Is it?
So you guys can already watch it? Wow.
Wait, what? It's on Prime apparently. According to Google, though.
It doesn't look like it's available anywhere to stream in the States.
I think it's only Canada, Bilal.
Yeah.
Because it's a Canadian film.
Yeah.
It is a Canadian film. That's true. It's a French-Canadian film, so that might be why.
Hey, all right. I'll watch it tomorrow. Actually, no, I don't watch.
You have to pay for it, do you?
No, it's streaming on. It's streaming on not Prime Crave, but just HBO, basically for Canada.
Okay, well, then, check it out because it's great.
So, Bilal, what is your number 6?
Let's pull out of my Letterboxd. Oh yeah, my number 6 is my recent movie I just watched. The South Korean supernatural film Exuma, which I
You just reviewed
absolutely
this, didn't you?
what? Yeah,
You just reviewed this.
I just reviewed it, and it's like came into my top 10 immediately because the movie
Yeah.
is amazing. It's something that I went into blind without knowing anything. It's a movie with so much interesting lore in this movie, and there's so much that happens in this movie that I cannot really explain without spoiling. I also really appreciate the performances, the eerie feel of this movie, especially with the score. And this movie is a horror movie that doesn't rely on jump scares, but relies on the environment to make it scary. And I also love the performances. Obviously, Soy Min Singh is an absolute legend in the acting game, and he delivers excellent performance. As a movie is definitely put on the radar because I think it's out digitally, and it's a movie that I think a lot of people will appreciate. It's a really important horror movie, in my opinion.
So for right now, it's on Shutter for the States. So I'm
Nice.
gonna watch it on Shutter.
It is. It is. I see. It's also on AMC Plus, which you can get like a free trial to through Amazon. So
Sounds.
So mine, what you were saying?
I was gonna say, sounds like a plan, man. You said the AMC Plus thing.
yeah,
Oh, I
I'll
already got
watch.
AMC Plus, so I'm definitely going to try to watch it. So my number 6 is Challengers.
Yeah.
Luca Guadagnino's latest film. I really enjoy this movie. Zendaya, I want to ask you guys: does she give her best performance in her career in this?
I think so.
I think so. It's still close though between Doom Part Two, right? Because I
I
know.
don't know. She's a lot better in
She's
this.
excellent in Dune, but in this movie, she is the star. So I would say Challengers is probably a little bit better.
And I like the characters of Mike Feist and Josh O'Connor in this. The rivalry, and we see what happened in the past and how it leads to right now. What these characters have gone through out of all these years, and the cinematography. Because I think the guy who does the cinematography always does Luca Guadagnino films. So great cinematography. A lot of people don't like the soundtrack. I like the soundtrack for this movie. I think Match Point is one of the best songs in this movie. It hypes up that ending, and I just really enjoyed this movie, performances and everything. But let's get into our top 5 right now. Brandon, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is what I personally believe to be the best horror movie of the year so far, but this next week I think it will be dethroned, and that's Late Night with the Devil, a movie that a lot of people were talking about a few months ago for good and bad reasons because of the movie's use of AI imagery. But the AI imagery in this movie boils down to two stills that have maybe a total of 10 seconds of screen time. So it didn't really affect my experience because I thought that this movie was very original and it was pretty insane. And I like old talk shows like that. So this was like right up my alley because they really recreated a talk show of that time period beautifully. And David Desmalchin gives easily his best performance of his career because this is the first movie I've ever seen him in where he was the lead, and just an absolutely insane ending. And I saw this movie in theaters at what time? It was like 10 p.m. I think on like a Friday night, and I was expecting to be the only one there. The theater was packed that late, so that made me very happy to see. But really good movie. I liked it a lot.
So I agree with you, Brandon. It's excellent. It's my second best horror of the year,
Mm-hmm.
just right behind Abigail. Everything, like you said, right on point. And it gives the eeriness and creepiness of this in the whole entire movie, especially once you figure out the ending
Mm-hmm.
and why this is all going on. It just connects right back to that scariness and creepiness feel that not only you get in the trailers, but you get right at the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So below, what is
Definitely.
your number 5?
My number 5 is probably one of the most underrated movies this year. Snack Shack. I love Snack Shack. First of all, a great coming to age story. I love this movie shows the bond between the characters like AJ and Moose. Also, like the downfall of them when they run to the lifeguard being Brooke. It shows like the great parts of friendships, but the downsides of friendships as well. And I think Gabriel, how do you say his name?
Gabriel LaBelle.
LaBelle. I loved him at Fablemans. He delivers another excellent performance. He's definitely an actor I'm on my radar. So every time he's in a movie or TV show, I will be watching. Also, Cold Cherry. This was his first movie he ever acted in, and he does a great job as well. I think this movie is extremely great. It hits you in the emotional beats as well, and overall, it's a movie that is a lot of fun, but has the emotions in the same time. And I think Snack Shack is great.
Brian, have you seen Snack Shack?
I have not. I've heard good things about it though, so I'll check it out sometime.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
I do like
You-
it's like a coming of age movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love coming of age movies, so I'll definitely watch it.
Like
What were you
Bilal
saying,
said,
Dakota?
it gets really emotional at one point in this movie. And I think that's what balances this movie out. I think if it was just, I think there was something that was missing for me in this movie. But I think if it had that thing in it, and it probably will like do better on a rewatch. I think it could be in my top 10 just on rewatch wise. But overall, I really enjoy it. And I really recommend it to you, Brandon, for you to watch it.
I'll watch it for sure. Yeah, so, don't know when, but I will.
But my number 5 is Richard Linklater's latest movie, and probably the best movie on Netflix right now for this year is Hitman.
Marking you, not on Canon Netflix though. Just let y'all know, but that's cool.
This is my first ever Richard Linklater movie I've ever seen, so I really want to dive more
No
into his
way.
filmography.
No way, you haven't seen School of Rock?
Rock?
No,
Oh
never seen
my
School of Rock?
god!
no.
Days of Confused?
No,
Wow.
I really want to watch Dazed and Confused.
You've
It's
never
been on my
seen Days
watch
of
list.
Confused, the Before trilogy?
No.
Wow.
The one I really wanted to watch it because I think Tyler just watched it again today is Boyhood.
Boyhood is masterful. It's a phenomenal movie.
So I really and the other movie I really want to watch is Everybody Wants Some.
Everybody Wants Some is excellent. That is one of the most underrated movies ever.
So of course this movie stars Glenn Powell. Like Glenn Powell's on like a renaissance right now ever since Top Gun Maverick. He gives an excellent performance in this movie with different types of characters. Because of course Gary Johnson's technically not a hitman. He's a professor, but each hitman character he gives an excellent performance. Who's the actress in this, Bilal?
Adriana Ajona? Is that how you say her name?
Adria Arjona.
Oh, Adria Arjona.
She gives a good performance in this. There's one line in this movie. She just says it.
Scary?
It's that line I busted out laughing. I love the ending to this movie. It's like clever. It's people are saying like this and Challengers is like the battle for the sexiest movie of the year. It could be, but I feel more of like a
Hitman Solos. Sorry.
good like rom-com this is. And I just really love the story in this and just the great performances. And I kind of wish Netflix didn't get this. I kind of wish another studio picked this up because I think it would have done a better job a theatrical release than just streaming.
I saw it in theaters, by the way.
I did see it in theaters as well.
It was fantastic.
It was not playing near a theater near me. Like nowhere near close.
Dude, my whole theater was laughing during the whole. It was my favorite theater experience. Everyone was having a great time.
How many people laughed during the line?
Everyone.
I love that line so much. But Brandon, what is your number 4 for this year?
Okay. Before I get into that, could you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can hear
you're
you.
good.
Okay, cool. When during your last point, Dakota, like it started to break up a little bit, so I just want to make sure. But my number four is Challengers from Luca Guadagnino. I loved this movie as well. Zendaya is one of my wives, one of the many wives that I have in my head. So it's
Let's just make
easy.
sure Tom Holland's not watching this. Just to
Oh,
clarify.
it's fine. It's fine. It's all good. We're cool, Tom. Yeah, but I loved this movie, and I do think that it is the best performance Zendaya has given. Also, I just need to shout out this is probably one of the best posters of the year. The Challengers poster is excellent, really good, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I haven't seen all of Luca Guadagnino's movies. I've only seen this, Bones and All, and Call Me by Your Name, and I think all of those movies are excellent. But I find it amazing that Luca Guadagnino himself admitted that he's not a fan of tennis and he doesn't watch it. Yet he was able to make tennis so much fun, and I love tennis. Like playing tennis is very fun. Watching it is fun occasionally, but I really enjoy tennis, and he made it really fun for just like the average viewer in this movie with great, but in using tennis as like a metaphor for like a back and
Relationships.
forth friendship and relationship is
Yeah.
honestly, I think it's pretty genius. Really good movie. I loved it.
So, Bilal, what is your number four of the year?
My number four is Monkey Man. I think this movie does well for a first time directed movie. This movie is really great. I love the fact that this movie doesn't have too much action. It dives into the Hindu culture and like not only the Hindu culture, the corruption that's going on in India, and tackling these important topics in such a mature way that Dave Patel does is something really important. But when the action does come, it's brutal, it's raw, and it feels real. And you really buy into that because the character, a kid, is pissed, and you understand why he's pissed. So this movie does feel like a character study movie with corporations of messages of corruption and showing Hindu faith. And I think it does a great job of bringing all three of those elements into Monkey Man. Now, I don't think this trailer does that justice, but if you see the trailer, it seems like, oh, that's going to be a full blown action movie, which isn't the case for this movie.
So, for me, my number four is Inside Out 2. I really enjoy Inside Out 2. I enjoy it better than the first Inside Out.
Mm,
I
Uh, uh,
good movie. I liked Inside Out too, but I did not think it was better than the first.
wait, did me and Brad agree on something? Let's go, man.
So, Sadness redeems herself, first of all, in this movie. I did not like Sadness in the first movie. I am one of those people. I kind of like how they show more of Riley in this and how each of these emotions, how their reaction, kind of like their reaction inside of her, then you see her reaction to, because especially where she's off to this hockey camp, because in the first one it just shows like she's moving and like her life like when she's moving, but this is more like depth in. Maya Hawke is the best performance in this movie.
Agreed.
Definitely, I agree with you there. Absolutely.
Her performance as anxiety was, I would say, perfection a little bit. um Iowa Debris needs more screen time in this. They underutilizes her so much in this as Envy. Boredom, boredom was pretty good. Embarrassment though, I really enjoyed embarrassment in this movie. But overall, I like the interaction between the new emotions and the old emotions, and we got screen time with both of them. I think a lot of people thought they would get more screen time with the new emotions than the older emotions, but we got this shared screen time, and just their chemistry. I think as actors and characters in this movie was pretty good. But we're going to get into our top three now of the year so far. So, Brandon, what is your number three?
My number three is here. It is, Bilal, with the movie you mentioned earlier. My number three movie of the year is Sing Sing.
There
This
is.
this
I was wondering where
movie
that goes.
it does not have a wide release yet. It comes out this month, so and like that is the official release date. I think it comes out maybe
It's next Friday.
Next Friday. Okay,
Yeah.
but this movie is truly phenomenal. This is a movie that is going to make some noise come Oscar season. I could definitely see this getting nominated for a bunch of different stuff. Coleman Domingo is remarkable in this movie, and I did not see Rustin, the movie that he was nominated for this year. But if he can get nominated for that, a movie that nobody saw, then he should be nominated for this and might even be the front runner, honestly. He is incredible in this movie. And there's another person in it because if you guys don't know, the movie takes place at a prison, a real life prison, Sing Sing correctional facility in like upstate New York. And a lot of the cast members are people who were actually prisoners of the prison itself. So they were actually inmates at one time at that prison. And they are incredible. One in particular, his name's Clarence Macklin, and he gives a tremendous performance, and he should be nominated for Best Supporting Actor when the time comes. And it's just a very positive movie. It shows the beauty of art and how the effect it has on us. And it showcases prison in a way that I've never seen before because people when you see them in prison in like movies or TV, they usually never get better. They usually get worse or they're the same by the time they get out. This movie shows prisoners trying to better themselves through artistic expression, and it's so beautiful, and it's very funny. It's tragic. It gets really tragic in parts, but it is an unbelievable movie. So please watch it when it comes out next week.
So, Bilal, what's your number three?
Y'all gonna kill me.
Oh boy.
Do part two.
Yeah, but I knew it. I knew it. I just knew it.
Doing part two at number three, huh?
Yeah, I knew y'all gonna kill me.
Okay.
I'm just...
I was expecting it to be a bad movie, so okay.
All right.
I made him joke.
No, okay. I mean, it's fantastic. I just like our two movies more. All right.
Mm-hmm. Clearly.
That's it.
Okay. I'm recovering from that one right there.
I give this man hard.
I don't know which one I'm recovering from. Brandon's comment about not being a bad movie or the Lost Pick of Doom. So my number three, probably controversial, really controversial. I got the Bike Riders.
Wow.
Really? Oh, really?
So I'm going to explain this. So I really like biker movies, especially like Sons of Anarchy. And this reminded me a lot of that. I think this is not Tom Hardy's best performance, but he gives a good performance in this. Austin Butler, I think, is just being Austin Butler in this movie. He's not really acting. He's just being himself. Jodie Comer gives a great, excellent performance. I like the not only that, but we get Norman Reedus and Mike Feist in this, and Michael Shannon, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get that much screen time, but the screen time they get is well deserved. Brandon, you've seen the Bike Riders, right?
I have, yeah.
The ending, all I have to say is the boy and Tom Hardy in the parking lot. My jaw was dropped when that scene happened. I did not expect that to happen at all. And I just think this is a really good biker movie, and I really enjoy it.
I knew something was going to happen during that scene, but yeah, it was kind of obvious, to be honest.
Yeah, because that kid definitely showed tendencies throughout, so you could tell he was going to do something dirty. So
yeah.
So, Brandon, what is your number two?
So, my runner-up for my favorite movie of the year is Richard Linklater's Hitman. And I'm still reeling from the fact that you said this is the first Richard Linklater movie you've ever seen.
You've never seen School of Rock.
You've never seen School of Rock is unbelievable. That movie is excellent. School of Rock still holds up to this day. That movie's phenomenal.
School of Rock is the biggest school movie. Like every time you were in school, like in like public school or high school, and it was like last day of school, they'll bring School of Rock in there. Mm-hmm. It's either Shrek 1 or 2 or School of Rock. At least it can. I don't know about this.
Because I remember going to see School of Rock in 2003 when it came out. I was a youngin'. I saw it with my dad, and it was fantastic. And I think I rewatched it last year. I'm like, this movie's awesome. This movie's so good. But anyway, Hitman, yeah. Richard Linklater is like probably in my top 3 favorite directors. I haven't seen all of his movies, but every movie from him that I have seen, I just love. They're so entertaining, despite not really a lot happening. If you guys have, I mean, Bilal, if you've seen his other movies, because Dakota, you haven't seen any, but but yeah, like, you know, his movies like Everybody Wants Some and Dazed and Confused. In those movies, nothing happens, but they're so fun. And I think the reason they're so fun is because Richard Linklater's a really good writer. He understands what makes a conversation interesting, and he knows how to write a good character. And Gary Johnson was a real person, but obviously this is a fictionalized account of his life. But I thought this movie was so funny. It had a lot to say, too, about like the justice system and identity and not being like totally pleased with who you are and becoming someone else to like please another person. Glenn Powell and Adria Arjona are both phenomenal. And I saw her a few years ago in season 2 of True Detective. I don't know if you guys ever watched that show, but she is one of the most beautiful human beings that I've ever seen in my life, and she is also an amazing actor.
She was the best part of Morbius too.
Yeah, that she was in Morbius. I
forgot about that. Why you remind me of that?
Yeah, I forgot she was in Morbius, but we're not going to talk about Morbius. But yeah, her and Glenn Powell have unbelievable chemistry with each other, and that notes app scene at the end, fantastic, just fantastic. I rewatched this movie too last week. I love it so much.
Yeah.
So, Bilal, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is surprisingly enough, Hitman. This movie's fantastic. I like I said, I was lucky enough to see this movie in theaters, and everyone was laughing, having a great time. Glenn Powell delivered such an excellent performance that kind of reminded me a little bit of James McAvoy from Split, considering the fact that they both play multiple different personalities in a sense. And I think Glenn Powell just captures each personality really well and makes it its own character. Obviously, I can't butcher her name. What's
Adria Arjona.
Adria Arjona.
There you go.
There we go. Got it. She was excellent in this. I thought her line delivery for the humor was fantastic, especially with the "Who the fuck is Gary?" line. That was great. Anyways, are we allowed to cuss in this?
Yes, Bilal.
Fuck yeah. Anyway, really back to Hitman. I thought this movie was clever with the justice system, like you said, and I think this movie is just extremely fun. A movie that I enjoy so much, and yeah, it's coming number 2 so far.
So my number 2 is Furiosa.
Wow.
I really enjoyed this movie. First of all, Brandon, I want to see your reaction. I did not see Fury Road until the day before I watched Furiosa.
Yeah, you know how much I was on his ass about watching Fury Road? Fury Road. There we go.
I rewatched Fury Road, I think the day before I saw Furiosa too, because I hadn't seen it since it came out. And I was just sitting there in my living room, and I was like, God, this movie's so good. And then I clicked to see how much time was left, and like an hour and 40 minutes went by. I'm like, oh my God, it's almost over. Like, this movie's so much fun. It doesn't feel like any time has really passed. Like I felt like it was 10 minutes, but it was nearly 2 hours.
True. But I really enjoyed this movie. Anya Taylor-Joy gives a great performance in this. Let me see who plays her younger.
Elia Brown.
Elia Brown gives an excellent performance in this because we don't get Anya Taylor-Joy to like a 1 hour mark in this.
Mm-hmm.
I think Elia Brown carries the performance of young Furiosa really well. Chris Hemsworth, this could be his best performance ever. I really like him as Dementus. He is
Red Dementus nipples. Sorry, what? That's nothing. you heard nothing.
I just really like this that we see Furiosa's past and how she goes from living in the green place, and we actually see the green place because we always got the explanation of what it was in Fury Road, but we actually see the green place in this movie. And I think just her path from living in the green place to the warrior she is in Fury Road, working with Immortan Joe, is just phenomenal. Because you see her like grow up, and once she hits that, like I think it's her 20s, could be, and she goes on along with who's the guy in the truck thing?
Jack.
Tom Burke.
Tom Burke, by character Jack.
Yeah, Jack. Once we see like his death and that how it affects her, she just goes fully insane.
Hey, yo, spoilers, dog. Why did somebody didn't see Furiosa, bro?
I hope you saw Furiosa because you should have gone to the theater and saw Furiosa.
I'm just making sure, you know.
But the ending, once you get to Act 5, or I think it was Act 5 or Part 5 in the story in the movie, you gotta lock in because it's just great. Because once you get the Furiosa look out of Anya Taylor-Joy, the dialogue and the conversation between her and Chris Hemsworth at the end of the movie in the desert, and I love this movie because a lot of prequels, there's like a time gap, kind of like it, for example, like Wonka. You got the time gap of probably 40 years between Wonka and Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but this one just leads straight to Fury Road, where you can watch this back to back with Fury Road and be one connected movie. And I think that's just what helps this movie a lot. And I think I would kind of wish George Miller just done these movies now because they look so much better than what I have seen from the original Mad Max movies. But Brandon, what is the best movie of the year for you so far right now?
I know this answer.
Yeah, I think Bilal knows the best movie of the year for me is Dune Part 2. Okay. There has been nothing that has truly enthralled me. I saw this movie in theaters 3 times, and I saw it twice in 70 millimeter, which was an unbelievable experience. But yeah, it was my most anticipated movie of last year, and then it got delayed, became my most anticipated movie of this year, and when I saw it, I'm like, that is going to be really hard for something to top that. I think there was something that I thought could maybe challenge it, but now I can't even remember what it was.
So I'm going to ask you later in the episode. I'm going to ask you 3 movies or 5 movies that you think that will be in your top 10 that's releasing later this year.
Okay,
we can put it in that because there are some movies that I think they can change the overhaul of my top 10.
But here, let me show you just how much I loved Dune Part 2.
Oh my god!
I had to. For the first time I saw it,
so
like, bro, I gotta get a popcorn bucket. I've got to get this.
So do you play with it?
It's on my shelf, you sicko.
Okay. First of all, Brandon, I did not get that one. I got this one though. For my theater. So Bilal was giving me hell yesterday when we were recording the other podcast episode.
Well,
Like,
well,
oh, yeah.
I wasn't giving you hell, man.
Yeah, you was. He's like, you got the sussy popcorn bucket. I'm like, no. First of all, my AMC wasn't selling it, and two, this one I think kind of looks better.
No,
at least with the design on the popcorn bucket though.
This one's
Besides the top.
Well, at least with the other one, you can practice with it.
Yeah,
Whoa, pause.
And honestly, I think this looks like a Sarlacc pit from Star Wars. So
it kind of does.
But yeah, and I do own this movie on Blu-ray now. I got a steelbook of it a few weeks ago from a friend.
I was wondering if you got the steelbook.
Yeah, I did. I tried to get it online, but it was sold out. But a friend of mine said he bought 2, and he was like, "I'll sell you one." I'm like, "Please," and I got it, thankfully. And yeah, no movie really just captured my attention like Dune did. Like I said, saw it 3 times. 2 hours and 45 minutes just flew by. I loved it. It's an amazing movie, and depending on how good Dune Messiah is, this could be one of the greatest trilogies that we've ever seen. Because Dune Messiah is coming out in 2026. That's been confirmed. So, but yeah, that's all I can really say. Because I've said enough about it. I don't know if I have any more to add.
So, Bilal, what is your number 1 movie of the year? We kind of already know.
What's your number 1, dude?
Okay,
yeah, I want you to go first, because
okay.
Y'all got the same.
I'm joining on Brandon's hype train right now. It's Dune Part 2. You know, I got the popcorn bucket. I got the fake figure.
I got a poster. I got
the poster. I got the steelbook. So
I got Austin Butler's number as Faye Rafa. You know, that's crazy. Wait, what?
So as soon as I saw this movie, I went on Walmart.com and pre-ordered that steelbook as soon as possible. I just love this movie so much. Like, I was hyped for this movie, like you said, because I saw the trailer of it in IMAX right before Oppenheimer, and it really, because I always thought Dune was good. But after watching that trailer in IMAX and just seeing that experience, I was locked in. I really wanted this movie. Like you said, when they delayed it, I know you were mad. I was mad too. A lot of us were mad all over Film
I was
Talk.
livid.
Oh, I was kind of too. I'm like, really? I've been waiting the whole entire time for this movie. But we got it. I've seen it in theaters 2 times. One in just regular. Then the second time when I watched it in IMAX, it just enhanced the experience. So once you get to the spoilers, if you haven't seen Dune Part 2, once Paul drinks the water of life, from then to the very end of the movie, probably one of the best endings to a movie this year, even over Furiosa. It just shows, I think, what Paul is and what he's going to become. I'm glad that we got Anya Taylor-Joy in this movie, even though it's like 3 seconds.
The best part of the film, obviously. I'm joking.
But you are smoking something, my guy.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
That part of the, she was in it for 2 seconds.
I'm joking, guys.
There's 2 scenes. There's 3 scenes from the ending part that I love, or 4. One is Paul's speech to all the Furman.
Lisa Akai. Sorry.
Yeah, when he is full in charge. Second is before that is when he's walking and through the crowd of Furman, and before that when the sandworm crawls up through the ground and you hear Hans Zimmer's soundtrack. That was amazing in the IMAX. The third is when the nuclear weapons go off and you get that shot of him just looking out where the Emperor is.
Yeah.
And the fourth scene is, of course, the fight between him and Fade. I think that's a great, amazing scene. And there's a movie later that I'm going to talk about with a fight scene kind of like that. But we will get to that later. But I just really enjoyed Dune Part 2. I have seen this twice in theaters. I rewatched it when it had its digital release. And I kind of want to rewatch it again soon.
Well, y'all probably know my number 1. I'll let y'all.
But you gotta explain it to the people, though. What is your number 1?
Furiosa, man. I absolutely love this movie. You know, First of all, I love the journey of Furiosa, especially with Elijah Brown's performance was really strong in this movie. I love this movie takes its time to build up to Anya Taylor-Joy's Furiosa, but also the action is there, man. The action is great in this as well. Obviously, I think the action is way better in Fury Road, but Anya Taylor-Joy's performance with like only 30 lines of dialogue and having so much emotion in the eyes, body language is something extremely great. Obviously, Furiosa's story is heartbreaking, but what makes me appreciate this movie more is rewatching Furiosa and now rewatching Mad Max Fury Road. This movie makes Fury Road a better movie, but it does a great job being a great standalone prequel film to Fury Road at the same time. And I think that's something I really appreciate about this movie. And oh my god, Chris Hansford, man, what a fantastic performance as the Mendes. Obviously a funny villain, but he was psychotic at the same time, and having so much elements to his character, something extremely great. I love how much development Murder Joe gets in Furiosa, and overall, I think this movie is excellent and my favorite movie of the year.
Okay, so we have just went through our top 10 so far of this year. So I'm gonna go a little bit over 5, but what are 5 movies that you think that will be in your top 10 that hasn't been released yet? Brandon, I will let you go first.
Okay, I've got my watch list up right now because there's so I'm kind of weird on Letterboxd. I like to just do my watch list by year because if I put every movie ever made I want to watch in my watch list, I'll just get overwhelmed. But right now, because I I think the second half of the year is pretty loaded. So the most recent release that will soon after this is Long Legs, which which I referenced earlier. I think that will dethrone Late Night with the Devil as my favorite horror movie of the year because I've been hearing nothing but good things, and I mean, can't ever go wrong with Nicolas Cage. And Nosferatu, which the trailer just got released for. Robert Eggers has made 3 movies, and they've all been fantastic. So I have no doubt in my mind that this will be the same. And another one that I'm really excited for is a documentary that premiered at Sundance called Evelyn. Have you guys heard of this?
This is about the kid. Explain. I think I know what you're talking about.
It's a kid. I think he's
World of Warcraft
from Norway. Yeah, and he was really big into World of Warcraft. And he died, I think, of some muscular disease. But his parents were really worried because they were like, he didn't really have a lot of friends, but he had friends from all over the world that he made on World of Warcraft. And I guess there's like reenactments to the conversations he had with these people online as their World of Warcraft characters. And that sounds awesome because I love documentaries. So I'm really looking forward to that. And another one that I haven't heard many people talking about is Dee Dee. You guys seen this?
No, I've heard things about it though.
Yeah, it's a coming of age story. It's the same director. What's his name?
Because this was at Sundance, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was Sean Wang. He was just nominated for an Oscar this year for his short film called Nai Nai and Waipo, which is a really sweet little documentary short. I think it's on Disney Plus, so check it out if you can. But this is a coming of age story, and on Letterboxd it's described in 2008 during the last month of summer before high school begins. An impressionable 13-year-old Taiwanese American boy learns what his family can't teach him: how to skate, how to flirt, and how to love your mom. And I love coming of age stories, so this looks right up my alley.
Did you watch the trailer for it yet?
Yes, it's played at a few movies I've seen in theaters, so I've seen it a few times, and I just like, yeah, that looks really nice. I can't wait for that. And I think the last movie that I believe will be in my top 10 by the end of the year is Anora from
Oh,
Sean Baker, which just won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. I love Sean
bro.
Baker.
Funny thing is, I was literally searching up that movie. Oh,
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to this because Sean Baker, I loved his last two movies, The Florida Project and Red Rocket, both fantastic. He just has, this guy just has a really good understanding of showcasing, like, the, for lack of a better term, like the trash of society, like just the
yeah,
trashiest people imaginable. And
and
it seems like Honora is no exception to that. And Mikey Madison is in it. She's getting a lot of buzz, and I really thought she did a great job in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Scream 5. So I'm excited to see her in a leading role. But yeah, there's a lot I'm looking forward to, but I think those are probably the five I'm most excited for and will definitely be on my top 10 by the end of the year.
So, below, what's your five?
I might be too optimistic with this one. Alien Romulus has potential. It has potential. I really hope it's a great alien movie because I love the alien movies, and there has been a great alien movie in a while now. So hopefully, finger crossed, that's what it is. I think I'm gonna put Calculator 2 in there because of the set photos look
Oh,
absolutely
Gladiator
stunning.
2, yeah,
Um, then I'm gonna put Anora in there. Since I think this movie has stellar reviews right now, and I do like Mickey Madison and Sean Baker as people in Hollywood. So that's three. I'm gonna throw in Long Legs in there because why not? It's having like 100% Rotten Tomatoes so far, and I heard nothing but great things about that one. Um, hmm. The last one might be a little controversial, but Joker 2. I have a feeling that one might surprise us. I have low expectations, but I have that like weird thing about it that could shock us. But it's the first Joker movie I have like, really low expectations for, and I absolutely loved it. So I'm going to see how that goes with that.
So, for me, I got seven. I've been thinking about this ever since I saw Furiosa because we got so many good movies afterwards. So, first is Long Legs.
yeah.
I think this might be the best horror movie of the year. Like you said, Brandon, it's Nicolas Cage. I think it could be his best career performance. People are saying this right now. He looks just creepy in the images. And that phone call we had with Bilal, it's just eerie. And every time I see a piece of marketing to this movie, it gives me goosebumps and chills. The second movie I got is, I'm gonna agree with Bilal, Alien Romulus. I think it looks really good. I'm kind of glad we don't get as much in the second trailer as people wanted to. And really, Scott has watched this movie, and he has said it's better than his first movie. So, if he's telling the truth and it's better than his first movie, and it's okay, it's also Fede Alvarez. Fede Alvarez did a great job with the Evil Dead remake.
No, he didn't.
You don't like the Evil Dead
I did
remake?
not like the Evil Dead. Don't
Oh,
breathe. Excuse me. Don't breathe. Jeez, I'm choking on my own spit. Don't breathe is excellent. The Evil Dead remake, I did not care for that movie at all. It's bloody, I'll give it that, but no. But I do. But I am excited for Alien Romulus because I think Fede Alvarez can do a really good job with it.
my only thing with Fedius is he was the producer or writer on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that was on Netflix, so that's my only worry.
Oh, yeah, and that movie's horrible. And he didn't direct it, but did you guys see Don't Breathe 2?
Oh yeah, I saw Don't Breathe too. I saw
Awful,
that in theaters. Ew.
terrible.
Oh, you didn't direct it. Oh shit.
He
No,
didn't
he
direct
didn't.
it. No, I think he was just like
No,
a
he was a
writer and a
producer.
producer.
Okay, thank God.
So my next movie is Trap.
I'm
I'm really excited for this. The
I'm-
second trailer got me more hype for this movie.
I'm skeptical on M Night Shyamalan and his daughter now.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm
Do
just
not say
not
anything.
I'm
Bilal
not an
has
M. Night
not.
guy.
So Bilal hasn't seen no marketing for this. So
what?
he don't know the little twist in the trailer that we're thinking is the twist.
Mm-hmm.
but I think there's a bigger twist to this movie,
I'm sure there will
and
be.
I can't wait to see it though because I think it will shock Bilal to figure out like what we saw in the trailers.
Hmm.
Then
So,
there's just a bigger twist.
so Dakota, how many M Night movies have you seen, by the way?
One,
And
Oh,
which one did you see?
I saw Duck at the Cabin.
oh,
Okay. I was so ready for you to say, I saw The Last Airbender.
No,
I'm like,
no, no,
oh.
no, 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 no.
but if you want to get an M Night, like good M Night, watch like Unbreakable, Split, like Sixth Sense,
Sixth Sense.
Signs.
I am very, see, I'm in the minority. I do not like Signs. Signs is stupid. It's so stupid.
What about The Village? I've heard The Village is good.
I think I saw The Village once. I'd have to rewatch. I know the twist, unfortunately, but I'd have to rewatch it.
If you want some guilty pleasure M Night, watch The Happening. The movie makes me
The
laugh.
Happening is just that movie takes itself so seriously, and like M. Night stands are like it's obviously a satire. Like it's not. It was not.
It takes itself serious, but still so funny at the same time. It's so weird.
Yeah, and I mean that's probably what makes it entertaining because it takes itself so seriously. But and it's
I
so
mean,
dumb, but
it's a guilty pleasure movie of mine. Like I just have fun with it until I revisit it. Like Mark Wahlberg didn't want to do anything with that movie.
don't blame him.
So
Old sucks, and I did not like Knock at the Cabin either. So I'm just skeptical of anything M. Night related.
I was so pissed that he didn't complete the trilogy of like Unbreakable and Split. Like Glass was so disappointing, dude.
Was
Like,
it? Because I haven't seen Unbreakable or Split, but I know people say those movies are good, so I'll check those out.
Ghost movies are fire, bro. I love Ghost movies so much.
So I got 4 more. The
Mhm.
next one is Twisters. I love Twister. The first Twister is great. It's a great 90s movie. It's a great storm movie. I am glad that we are getting another storm movie in theaters. This has Glenn Powell. I think a lot of people don't know this, but of course, like us, Lee Isaac Chung is directing this movie.
Mhm.
And he directs Minari. And Minari, I heard, is a really good movie.
Minari is excellent.
Oh, Minari is fantastic.
Minari is a fantastic movie. I love that movie.
My top 5 for A24 is Minari.
I think that movie should have won Best Picture in the COVID year because it was the best movie nominated.
Facts. Wait, Minari came out 2020, right?
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was the 2021 Oscars, but it was
Because Coda won that, didn't it?
No, that was Nomadland.
Oh. But
Oh,
I'm really excited for this. I've also just heard today, I don't know if you saw on Twitter, Brandon, that he has actually filmed this in 35 millimeter.
Lee Isaac Chung?
Yeah, he filmed Twisters in.
Oh, did he?
He filmed Twisters in 35 millimeter. So I think he's doing good with this movie. I think they found a good director. I think they got a good cast with this. I'm just hoping it's good and not bad. I kind of hope it's like a Top Gun Maverick that's really good than its predecessor. But
and I think, real quick, I think this movie is going to be like a sleeper hit. I have a feeling it's going to make a lot of money. I don't know why, but just a suspicion I have.
I just have a feeling it's going to hit $1 billion out of nowhere. It's going to be like
I don't know if it'll hit $1 billion, but I think it will be profitable.
But another one I got is the one you just watched, Brandon, Maxine.
I'm not going to say Sing Sing.
Okay. I need to see a trailer for Sing Sing first. I've been hearing good things about Sing Sing. I just need to see a trailer though.
I mean,
Maxine.
Man, I don't watch trailers no more, man. Screw that. It spoils too much.
But Maxine, I love X. I love Pearl. I've been hyped for Maxine ever since that little tease at the end of Pearl. And if I had a car, I would have gone see Maxine tonight because where they're doing the early screenings, because my local theater is playing it. But of course, I'm gonna try to see it Saturday. I'm just really excited for this movie. Hyped. It's Ty West, and I'm kind of glad that he is completing this trilogy, and it's the first ever trilogy for A24, which give big props to A24 to having probably a good trilogy. So my second to last movie is Nosferatu.
Oh, I forgot to say that. Dang it. I didn't say
So
trailer.
I did not watch the trailer for this yet. I am waiting. I just want to watch this movie for the first time, see these visuals. The only two shots I've seen is, of course, the still of Nicholas Hoult from a long time ago that was released and Lee Rose Depp. But besides that, I just want to go into this movie and just enjoy it just for the first time.
I understand, but I believe me, the trailer shows you like nothing. It doesn't reveal anything. It's very atmospheric.
You know what? I love Robert Eggers because he has like a great way of bringing like environment to make it haunting. Like Lighthouse and The Witch don't have like jump scares, but it's eerie and just the environment that there are in makes it scary. If that makes sense.
So my last movie, and I'm just going to throw this out here right now. I told Bilal this. I haven't told none of you guys in the chat. I was going to throw it out in the chat that day, but I didn't want. I don't know what your guys' opinions was. Gladiator 2 might dethrone Doom Part 2 for me.
Really, Scott been hit or miss lately, though.
But that's the thing, though. It might be a hit or a miss, but these shots look excellent. And it's Gladiator. He done great with the first Gladiator. I think he's picked some great actors in Paul Mescal, Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal. Like I told Bilal yesterday, I had a whole rant. I think Joseph Quinn might get Oscar nomination, but just the stills. But I think he's just going to have that performance that everyone is going to see and knock him out of the Eddie Munson talk of that he's Eddie Munson all the time. And just the stills from this movie look awesome.
I think you already did that with Quiet Place. I
But
think
not a lot of people see Quiet Place, though. That's the thing. Quiet Place is Quiet Place. Everyone wants to see a Ridley Scott movie because he has made some great movies. And I think this is released at a perfect time around Thanksgiving.
Oh man, he did release some duds like House of Gucci though,
And Napoleon.
and Napoleon.
That's the thing, though. It's Gladiator.
The Last Duel, though. The Last Duel is great.
That's the thing, though.
The last two was fired. I can admit that.
Because I think not a lot of people are hyped for this because one is really Scott, like you said, Napoleon, House of Gucci. But I think people are going to be excited for this because it's Gladiator 2.
Mm-hmm.
And especially Paul Mescal, he's giving off that Russell Crowe type of vibes from the first one. Yeah. And I just want to see the first trailer for this because it's supposed to be releasing Tuesday.
I'm not watching the trailer.
I am. I am so ready for this.
Oh, really? It's releasing Tuesday?
Yeah. Brandon, are you going to be watching a trailer?
What?
Are you going to be watching a trailer?
I probably would. I mean, I don't really have a problem with watching trailers nowadays, but I mean, I do agree they show you way too much. There's some trailers that don't show you anything, and I like that. But
I feel like A Quiet Place trailer shows so much of the suspense moments in the trailer. So I mean, I watched. Yeah, it kind of did. Anyways, I need to watch them, so I'm gonna be like muting myself right now.
You good? So I think that's about it for the episode. So thank you, Brandon. Oh yeah, we can.
Yeah, like because I don't want to leave without him.
Yeah, you're good.
He'd be like, "Wait."
Also, I'm gonna be watching the new Beverly Hills. Oh shit. Oh.
So guys, I think that's it for the episode. So Brandon, thank you for joining the episode today.
Well, thanks for having me.
No problem. So for our future episodes, for this week's review, we're going to be reviewing Pearl, the second movie in Ty West's X trilogy. So I'm really hyped to rewatch that movie.
So we're going to get guests for that?
Hey, Brandon, you want to join as a guest?
When are you planning on doing it?
Probably tomorrow.
Tomorrow or Friday?
Maybe. I think I'm doing something tomorrow, and I'd have to rewatch Pearl. So
just let me know. Yeah. Or we could get you on the Maxine episode because we're going to be doing the Maxine episode this Saturday.
Okay, yeah, I could probably do that. I don't think I'm doing anything Saturday, so that could probably work.
Okay. So of course our review for Pearls gonna be releasing. It's normally on Friday, but we're gonna be a little behind. So I'm gonna try to release it for Saturday for y'all to watch and listen. And then Monday's gonna be our episode 24 of the podcast. We're gonna be doing our review of Maxine. Of course, we're gonna be talking about movie news, trailers, all sorts of that stuff. But if you guys are new here and listen to the video version of this, um, I'm gonna put a thing on Spotify. Just put your top 10 of what you guys have so far this year of whatever you watched or what you're excited for the rest of the year. Also, if you guys haven't followed us yet, hit that follow button. Leave us a rating on Apple or Spotify. If you guys are watching on YouTube, hit that like button. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification because it will tell you guys whenever we post podcast episodes and review episodes. And also follow our social medias. Our handle is right up here. And not only that, but follow Brandon on the social medias also. So, guys, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. And I'll see you guys next time.
Oh, MBK out.